I mentioned previously what I hope you are already familiar with, so you can comfortably move throughout this course. Let me now talk a bit about what you will learn to do. Of course, you already took a look at the apps that we're going to build, which means that you already got a better idea of what you will accomplish by the end. But let me talk about some specifics here. First, SAML. Of course, not SAML from the beginning. Here I aim for you to remember how MVVM works and how SAML's binding is truly powerful. I will quickly move throughout the definition of the UI, but I will take a few lectures to explain a bit about commands, binding contexts, binding sources, paths, and modes. And we will even take a look at how to set some binding through C#, because sometimes this may be necessary, as we will see in those lectures. Second, custom renderers. We often see some amazing applications with some great custom looks. They work with the native control and make it look a unique way. I think this is just great. Great for the branding of the app, great for the looks, and often just plain necessary. So during this section, or the second section, you will learn exactly how you can customize how a control looks and works on both Android and iOS. A fair warning here, of course, because this will require some custom code for Android and some different custom code for iOS, this will reduce a bit the amount of code you reuse between applications. Third, native functionality. Xamarin is doing an amazing job at minimizing the code that you need to drag from the native projects into a shared .NET Standard library by building some super powerful Node.js packages that do that for you, so you barely need to touch the other projects. However, it is important to know that you can, and sometimes absolutely have to, code some functionality from the iOS or Android projects and use it from your shared library. So during that section we will talk about dependency services and how will you take two versions, or sometimes more if you're supporting some other platforms besides Android and iOS, of the same functionality work. Fourth, behaviors and effects. We would have customized by then our controls a bit with custom renderers, but sometimes you just need a bit more control over how your elements respond to interactions from users. So during that section, you will learn how to add behaviors and effects to your SAML elements and customize even more your application's user interface. Fifth, some distribution. Your apps are not just for you to code and use. You need to share with other developers, your testers, and finally, of course, your end users. Which is why in this course we are including a section on distributing your app with App Center, an amazing tool that Microsoft created and that is just amazing. So we will start by creating a GitHub repo and structure it in a way that is perfect for sharing with developers, testers, and users. Learn to distribute it through App Center and even learn how we can integrate event reporting and crash identification with the tool. Sixth, push notifications. We are not done with App Center here. It allows you to send push notifications, and so we are going to be integrating them within your applications. The setup for Android and iOS is important, but we will also take a look at the App Center's API so you can trigger the notification from pretty much anywhere. Seventh, advanced Xamarin Forms. You are already quite comfortable by now using Xamarin Forms. And yes, the course is mostly about advanced Xamarin Forms, but during that particular section, I will cover a couple of controls and Xamarin Form features that can really up your game. Even CSS will come into play here. 8. A bot inside of your applications. Yep, some machine learning is coming into play here. We will create an Azure service that allows you to easily integrate a bot in many channels and then focus on a knowledge base that will help your application resolve queries in a very quick way. Finally, some advanced Xamarin Android and iOS development. From reusing Java components to adding some custom zip files, the last two sections are perfect for the developers coming from Android or iOS native development, as in developing with Java or Kotlin or Objective-C or Swift. So this was a brief look at what the course covers. Of course, I constantly upload new lectures as I receive requests from students, so definitely keep an eye on this course for future updates.